Wingen Lodge, Post and Beam Shell Construction and Framing, Big Red Construction.
This is the first post and beam structure Big Red Construction has built. They specialize in custom building more than anything, so the design itself wasn't daunting. It was the mere size of the building that was concerning, only because they are a smaller company that does everything on the outside of the building and structure, as well as interior framing and trim. In October of 2018, all the site dirt work and the building of a massive retaining wall was done to prepare for the build to begin in the upcoming spring. Spring 2018, they installed an engineered septic field for the residents and began excavation, footings, and basement walls. The massive footing design, along with the 8-inch concrete walls for the structural integrity, added up to 210 plus yards of concrete. They began standing the structure mid-October 2018. What made this build complicated, besides the fact 2018-2019 may have been two of the wettest years on record, and they were building on the side of a mountain, so all of the water ran down into their site, plus they had no room to stage the buildings. The majority of the time on these builds, all the structures will be constructed and staged to stand the building in one shot. This particular build needed to be built on the first level floor because there was no staging area to build the structures and place them. So they built it at 3 different sections. Semis were received as they could stage them throughout the winter, which meant that they spent many days pulling, digging, and simply unloading trucks at the bottom of the road to haul material up with a telehandler with chains, one load at a time. Much time was spent with the plumber, electrician, and HVAC contractor to make sure that when the project was done, the customer was happy and comfortable. They also changed or tweaked the exterior fill in framing design so they could provide insulation to the exterior of every post and beam on the building, which meant that they had to tweak the basement foundation to accommodate this. Extreme roof pitches, along with roof peaks far off the ground, equipment getting stuck and sinking in the ground, track skid steers tracks freezing up on a nightly basis, and constantly having to move snow even when there was nowhere to put it. Probably the most difficult part of this job was in the spring of 2018, the owner Pat was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. So they went from an exterior structure design and no interior design, and Pat planning to be there during the build to make decisions, to Pat having to concentrate on dealing with his devastating news. And the rest of the build would be conveyed via email and phone. With all of the challenges, the crew was successful. Thank you to the crew from Big Red Construction. Master Craftsman, Project Manager, Jackson Wenger. Superintendent, Vince Geditz. Craftsmen, Jerry Kafka, Jerrod Wenger, John King, and Drew Martian. Help us congratulate the craftsmen from Big Red Construction.